Hello friends, James Corbett here, CorbettReport.com with your thought for the day, November 18th, 2016, and I'm sure you will have noticed that our old friend George Soros has been in the news over the past several months really, but certainly over the past week since the Trump election took place, and he's been huddling behind closed doors with Democrat insiders and other luminaries to have closed-door meetings about how to best, lick wounds and retrench. But what does that really mean? Oh, of course it means funding violent protests. And we see that coming out through these Craigslist ads for full-time organizers, protesters in places like Seattle. Oh, don't worry, $15 an hour. Nice. Washington Can, for example, is hosting this. And we know that Washington Can, in fact, gets at least partial funding through the Open Society Institute. Yes, that Open Society Institute of George Soros. So Soros, again, of course, always his specter, his shadow there in the background, pouring his money into various very questionable causes. But on that very note, just a few days ago, something pretty amazing happened, and that is this. And I hope that I don't even have to explain what this is, at least to the Corbett Report faithful out there, who already know that this is the infamous 1998 George Soros 60 Minutes piece, which you will know because, of course, you've listened to episode 113 of my podcast, Meet George Soros, where this piece was specifically talked about for, at least one particularly memorable passage. But now we get to watch the entire thing. As far as I know, this has never been online before, and now here it is in, 480p, which is not the greatest video quality, but pretty good. It's a pretty clear picture and clear audio. I don't know where this came from or how it got posted online, but here it is, and I only found out about it because it was recommended to me by YouTube. I didn't even get a tip from anyone about it. So there you go, guys. I'm going to put the link in the show notes, obviously, so that you guys can go check it out for yourself. And hopefully more than that, I hope you will download it, more on which in a moment. But let's just take a look at a few of the clips from this highly interesting piece that I think demonstrate quite well some of the core things that perhaps we already know about Soros, but that we need to be reminded of and have it shoved in our face, like his raging psychopathy.
I am basically there to make money. I cannot and do not look at the social consequences of what I do.
Spoken like a true psychopath. And so this 60 Minutes piece kind of tries to balance it as in, oh, here's this horrible amoral financier who swoops in and destroys entire nations with his speculation. But at the same time, you can't really accuse him of being greedy.
Whatever his motivations, no one can accuse him of greed. He's backed away from the day-to-day operation of his businesses and is giving away his billions now with the same determination that he made them.
Oh, well, he's a philanthropist. He must be one of those jovial, happy billionaire philanthropists like John D. Rockefeller. I mean, you can't impeach a man like that. He's giving away his fortune to help the needy. And we all know that can't possibly be used to achieve your own political ends, can it? Oh, right. Okay, how big oil conquered the world might be one counterexample to thrust in the face of people who say philanthropists can't be the most evil and conniving of all. But anyway, okay, so where did Soros go to spend his billions?
In places like Haiti.
Haiti? Haiti seems to have been in the news recently. Why was that?
A country that has less money in the bank than he does. Last month, he brought the First Lady with him for a look at some of the projects his foundation is funding.
Oh, that's right. He actually brought Hillary to Haiti, and, we all know how that turned out with the Clinton Foundation and its involvement in Haiti. So there you go. Soros, the globalist insider, with Hillary. He was with her before it was cool to be with her. So there you go. There's that. Interesting piece. And here's, actually here, if I can find it, is another tiny snippet, interesting little snippet of information.
He's educated a new generation. And in Ukraine, he spent millions retraining the old Soviet military.
A little piece of information that was going to come to fruition over the course of the next 10 to 15 years. And of course, it wasn't just training the military. There was a lot of money that was pumped into Ukraine. And eventually that paid off, didn't it? Not in the first revolution, color revolution you tried to throw, but in the subsequent one, the Maidan Square. So interesting stuff going on there, and lots of interesting passages. But obviously there is one particularly interesting passage in all of this that I did my best to do a little bit of dramatic reading of this passage from the transcript that we had back in 2010, and it sounded a little something like this. Soros. Not at all. Not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection, but it created no problem at all. Well, I did my level best, considering I'd never actually heard the audio of it. I'd only seen the rendering. But here is Soros himself relating the story of the time that he went to round up the Jews in Hungary, pretending not to be one himself.
My understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted godson.
Yes.
Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jews.
That's right.
I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years. Was it difficult?
Not at all. Not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection, but it created no problem at all.
No feeling of guilt.
No.
For example, that I'm Jewish, and here I am watching these people go. I could just as easily be there. I should be there. None of that.
Well, of course, I could be on the other side, or I could be the one from whom the thing is being taken away. But there was no sense that I shouldn't be there, because that was... well, actually, funny way, it's just like in markets, that if I weren't there, of course I wasn't doing it, but somebody else would be taking it away anyhow. In other words, whether I was there or not, I was only a spectator, the property was being taken away. So I had no role in taking away that property.
Wow. That's an incredible statement at the end. That is truly psychopathic. The person who was actually involved in doing it had no role in doing it, because if it wasn't me, it would have been someone else. Literally, I was just following orders defense, I guess, which is an interesting way. I mean, again, whatever you say about the morality of someone forced into a position like that, to have zero guilt or conscience or qualms, and to have never even questioned what he participated in, shows a particular type of personality, and I think we can see quite decidedly what type of personality that is. Anywho, this is a teachable moment, isn't it? Because this video, obviously of some importance, and who knows how long it will remain online. This is, as far as I know, the first and only time it's ever appeared online, so in the meantime, while it's up, again, I will put the link in the show notes for you to download the original, or to go to the original video, and I hope you will download it. There are many ways to download YouTube videos, so if you don't know about how to do that, I suggest this might be a good time to start to learn. For example, if you use Firefox, I use an add-on called Video Download Helper. Again, it's just a Firefox add-on. You just add, and it will give you a little spinning balls in the top of your toolbar that you click on, and you can download the video from there. Or you can use a site like keepvid.com. You just plug the URL in there and download, and it will create a downloadable version of the file for you to do so. So I hope you will download this and keep it, because we do not know how long things like this will remain on highly compromised and obviously globalist insider elite connected organizations like GooTube. So again, keep that in mind whenever you see an interesting piece of information like this that would certainly serve to have up the sleeve, so that we don't have to listen to me trying to read the transcript of it. We can actually hear from the horse's mouth itself. Just another couple of little tidbits here. Of course, here's the summing up of the psychopathic mentality of George Soros.
Whether I or somebody else does whatever is happening in the markets, it really doesn't make any difference to the outcome. I don't feel guilty because I'm engaged in an amoral activity which is not meant to have anything to do with guilt.
Complete and utter detachment from the true carnage that he even admits in this interview he has wreaked in places like Russia, where he some of his comments started a sell-off that cost billions of dollars of wealth to evaporate, that really caused genuine harm to people. He doesn't care in the least. He does not feel guilt because his amoral financial activities are not meant to have anything to do with guilt. Absolutely spine-chilling. And just as a little Easter egg, there is this little nugget, very interesting in light of recent events, buried at the back of the interview.
George Soros, in a way, is Donald Trump without the humility.
Interesting stuff. James Corbett.